Hey everybody, it's Sherry from the Crafty Decorator. Happy Tuesday everybody, and good morning, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The sun is just starting to come out here. It was very cloudy and rainy this morning, so the sun's just starting to come out. But I'm just on with a quick pre-recorded video. How to make these little birdies. Remember I told you I wanted to make little birds? Oh my gosh, how cute are these? This is his little tail. And this is without feathers, so you don't have to do feathers if you don't want. I just did feathers like 2 minutes before I came on. I remember I got feathers at Joann's. And can you believe this is the same skein of yarn? Okay, I'm going to show you how I made these adorable little guys. Okay, see, I got feathers flying all over. Clover pom-pom makers. This is the large and the grand. This is what I use for the big one. So I'm going to show you how I did the body. Now you can use any color yarns you want to use. I thought this mixed blue would be kind of cute. And I started with this one and I just got all light blue and I'm loving the light blue. But yes, I have feathers flying all over the place. Okay. So whatever you want the breast of your bird to be, that is what you're going to start with. So I chose white because that's what I had. I was going to do a cream color, but I didn't have the right yarn for the cream color. So we're going to start by wrapping. Now I showed you all how to do this. I don't know if you remember. You place your yarn between your two arms here, and you hold down your end, and then you're going to start wrapping. Now, for the breast of the bird, you're going to go like a little bit under a half. And I made it kind of thick. I started out with just doing a quarter, and it just wasn't enough. So I went, maybe you could even do a half, but I did just under a half. And I made it kind of thick. You want to end up here because you're going to need to hold this down while you start wrapping your next color. So cut, and then whatever color you want your bird to be, that is what you're going to start with. This is the yarn I decided I was using, and this is from Hobby Lobby. It's Yarn Bee Soft and Silk. It's Denim Stripe is the color. That is this blue yarn. So I am going to start wrapping. Now I want to try to get my two ends together so it will get held in place. There we go. And you just wrap. You're going to wrap. Now you can wrap a couple and push this down to be together and do it that way. I just kind of wrap. Now you have to make sure you don't want your yarn over these little teeth here. So I want it kind of thick again. Just keep wrapping. I have to do this whole thing in front of you because like I don't have two of these to say, okay, I have it wrapped. Okay. Now I'm going to work my way back over to this end. You want to end up over here. Then close it up. Now I just put my little end through here to hold in place, because you need to cut it. Then you're going to start on this side. Put your yarn between, hold your end, and start wrapping. Now, when I watched the YouTube video on how to do this, they would do like this and push down. And then you go back and go over. So you could do that if you want to do it that way. Now I just got to wrap for my thickness. Looks like I'm starting to get back into the light color. Okay. Then I end up on this side, right where we started. I bring this through, and you're going to cut this off. Then you're just going to cut in between your threads here. Make sure you do not let that pop open because you will lose all your pieces of yarn. You need a nice pair of sharp scissors. There's always one piece that I end up missing. Okay. Okay. Then you're going to want to take your yarn, place it through those 2 rings, and tie a knot. And pull tight. Then flip it to the other side. Bring your yarn up. Do a double knot. Pull tight in between. Do 1 knot, pull tight. Do another knot, pull tight. Then cut your yarn. And then open this up. And fluff out your ball. So this is the grand size for the body, for the big bird. So fluff up your ball. I should have got, well, let's see if I could do it on this felt. You want to trim. You want to trim all your odd yarn sticking all up. See, this is going to be your breast of your bird. Okay, you're going to trim. I'll probably trim them again after I get them together. We'll probably trim them again, but okay, so that's my body. This is my body. Now, the head, I just wrap in all blue yarn. I just wrap in all blue yarn so you don't have to end. And we're going to cut. We're going to cut the same way. Okay, then you're going to take your yarn. Now this time, leave it long, your end piece, because we are going to sew these 2 pieces together, just like we did when I made the bee. So do the same thing. Tie a knot, pull it, flip it over. You know what? I'm going to cut this from my yarn. It's easier. Tie a knot, pull it tight, another knot, pull it tight. Okay, now you can open this up. Fluff it out. And trim. The head I end up trim in a little more because I don't like it so fluffy. Once you get it attached, you could see how fluffy you want it. Kind of like the yarn a little tighter. You'll be trimming a little. You'll just be trimming a couple times probably to get it all even. Let's see. Hold it different ways, you could see. I know I trimmed the head more. I just don't want it as fluffy. You don't have to. You could leave it fluffy if you want. Okay, I got to put them together to see what he's going to look like before I... Oh, I got a mess. Before I trim anymore. I just see a couple sticking out. Okay. So, see where you want your head. So, I'm going to put my head like there. So, take your needle. Now, I was using this really long needle, this that I use for the bee. I'm going to try this one. This one's shorter. And you just have to make sure your eye is open enough, big enough. Okay, you're going to thread one piece of yarn through your eye. Okay, these are like doll needles. Then you are going to put this through the middle. You can feel how thick the yarn is in the center. I'm going to put this through and pull my head, see? Now you got to do the other string. Your other yarn, I shouldn't say string, but your other piece of yarn. Oh, I didn't get all my pieces in there. Okay. And you're going to feed it through. So now you have your both pieces of yarn on the bottom. I see where I need to trim them a little. I should just wait till I tie them. But you can play with it and see where your head's going to need to be trimmed. Okay. Now you have your two strings. Tie a double knot down. Like tie a knot. I tie a knot. I pull it. I tie another knot and pull it. And then I cut them off. And there's your little birdie. Now you can trim them to however you want them to look. I don't want to spend this whole video trimming, so I'm just gonna we're just gonna let them go for a bit. Okay, so there's my little bird. Now, for the wings, I just drew a bird wing. I had to cut it 3 times to get it to the size I want. I drew a bird wing and I kept holding it up, trimming it down. I did end up making patterns. When I get a blog done, there will be patterns, but you could just draw. Just draw a bird wing and you just keep cutting it down till you get the size you want. Now this was, yeah, this is the big one. Okay, so I pre-cut. Same thing with the feet. The tail. I drew things that look like feet, like this. I drew one bigger than the other, so I'd have a little double tail on there. Now I glue these together on the base. I add hot glue right there on the bottom, and I glue these bottoms together like this. Now you might want to bend it back a little and add some more. So there's my little tail. Now I lay my tail down, I set my bird where I want the tail to be. So set your bird on your tail and see how much you want sticking out and where it should be. I think the back of them needs to be trimmed a little. I said you're going to, you'll be trimming and trimming till you get to what you want. Okay, so I want my bird there. So I'm going to add hot glue on my tail, and I am going to set my bird on there. So see, this is what my tail looks like. Just like this. All right, that's our tail. Now, for the wings, I did the felt. And then I said, oh my goodness, I got feathers on clearance at Joann's. This is a package that has this peachy color. It's got a pink color, and it's got like this creamy white color in there, and it's got this bluish gray color in there. I think it was like $2.47 or $3.47 for this big bag of these. So after I added the felt wings on, I decided I wanted to add some feathers. Now, I don't know if we could do wings without the felt. I don't know how they would glue on. That's what I'm trying to decide. I kind of like the felt on there, so you have somewhere to glue the wing. I'm trying to decide. Okay, so if I did my wing here, because I was mixing white and blue together, the grayish. I'm just trying to see. I would want to cut this feather about here. I'm trying to see if I could just glue this wing, this in. Well, I guess you can. I guess you could just give him a feather wing without using the felt. Let's try that. And then I'll put the felt on the small ones. Okay, so, but I really want it white and blue. Let me see the white. Now, these feathers do face two ways, so you got to make sure you get the right. This might be too fluffy. I kind of wanted to add the blue and the white. All right, let's see. I would have to cut it here. I'm just trying to see. I might have to trim down that blue one a little bit. You might end up trimming some of the sides off. But I'm just seeing if you could do it without the felt. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do the felt, guys, because I don't know. Yes, I got feathers all over. Okay, hold your felt wings up till you get them where you think they should be. I'm kind of trying to make sure they're even. See, I'm trying to kind of make sure they're even. So when you look at the back, they're kind of even. Okay, I hold them in place. Then I just lift this up a little bit, add some hot glue, and glue it down. I'm going to do the same to this side. Lift it up, Add some hot glue. Okay, now once I got them in place, you might want to go back and just add some more hot glue to glue a little bit of more of the wing down so they're not flopping all over. Okay. I love these little birdies. All right. Now, I take my little shears here, and I kind of give him a neck because he kind of doesn't have a neck right now. So I kind of trim the head. I kind of trim the head between the head and the body to give him a little bit of a neck. Then you might want to look by the wings and see if you need to trim a little bit away from the front of the wings. Okay. You could place your wings wherever you want to place them. All right, so I have his wings on. I have his wings on. Now, for the beak, this is like a, I don't know. This is the yellow I had. I didn't want to use real bright yellow. I didn't want to use real bright. So this is the next best thing I had. So what you want to do is fold it in half because you need this to be the middle of your beak. I cut kind of a big beak because I started off with a smaller beak and I thought it was kind of too small for his head. So I made a bigger beak. You could stick with a smaller beak. You're just going to cut a triangle. You can always cut it down if you think it's too big. Okay, so I cut a triangle like this. And then when you open it up, it's like this. Now, I take my needle and I kind of see where I want his beak to be. I kind of separate, I separate the yarn with the needle. So you want to pull back a space like this and stick your mouth in there, your beak, and see if that's where you want your beak. I use my needle to get them in there. Because you want, oh, see, that beak is too big. I think it's a little too big. I'm gonna just make it a little smaller. Okay, let's try again. I push it in there with my needle just to see. Okay, so see, now see if that's where you want your beak. I think it needs to, let's see. I got to get my white yarn in the right spot again. It needs to move over a little bit. Okay. He's going to need some trimming when I'm done. But that is where I'm going to put my beak. So with your needle, take your thing out with your needle, keep that separated. Just like this. Can you? I'm having a hard time holding it like this. You want to keep that opening because we're going to add a little bit of hot glue in there. Then take your beak and stick it in there. Then take your needle and go between your beak and push it down in. Okay. Yeah, his head's gonna need some, his head needs some trimming. There's my little beak in there. His head's too fluffy for me. I need to trim down his head. Something just don't feel right with the wings with me for some reason. My nose is itchy from all the stuff flying around. Okay. Look, how cute is he? All right, for the eyes. Now, I'm limited on my black beads here. I can't believe I don't have black beads. These I had are 4mm. I thought they're just a tad too small. And I have no bigger beads. And so, you know how you guys say use what you have? Now, I'm going to go see if I can find bigger beads. But I have these sewing pins with different color heads on them. And these are just a tad bit bigger. Now, if I decide I'm going to keep using these, I'm going to cut these. But I just stuck these in here for now. I'll show you on the smaller one how to add. But you would decide where you want your eyes. I would hold the beads on there. I'm using the safety pins. Not safety pins, sewing pins for his eyes. I'll show you on the small one how we're going to add his eyes. But there's my little bird. Okay, now the feathers. Let's see. I cut the feathers. So let's see. Oh, that's not the one. This is the one. So if I did blue and white. See, I like to have something to glue them on. You would figure out where you need to cut your feathers and how you want them on there. Or if you just want all blue, all white, whatever. Okay, so this is where I want my white one. So I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to the back of my bottom of my feather and glue it in place. Just like this. Now I want to do my blue one. So let me hold it down there just so I know where I'm going to place it. Adding a little hot glue to the back of the feather. And I'm going to glue it in place. And there is my wing. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then I would have to do the other side. Now see, you got to look at the feathers because they go different ways. So I got to find one. That one goes that way. That one's the opposite way. Okay, so I have this one. I need a white one. Ooh, that one's really fluffy. I'd have to cut it down. Or I could do this one. I'm trying to see. I don't think I want that big feather. Okay. So if I did this, and then I did this. Okay. Let me glue this one down. And then let's see where I'm cutting this one. I know I got feathers flying everywhere. Okay. So that is how, and then you can trim the feathers so they're not if you don't want them so fluffy. Like this blue one needs to be trimmed down. And maybe a little bit off this white, but you could trim them down. But there's my little bird, guys. How cute is he? How cute is he? Okay, now for the small one, oh God, I'm on here a long time. For the small one, I used the large, the green one, the large pom-pom maker, and then I used the small pom-pom maker for the head. And I wrapped them the same way. And then this is my, this is my head. So I'm going to tie my head on there. So I got to see here. There's one. Whoa, I just pulled out a bunch of my yarn there. Okay. There's my little one. Like I said, you can make them any size you want. You just got to use different size pom-pom makers. Okay. I already have my beak pre-cut. I think this is it. Or this one. All right. I'm going to put my beak in quick because I just want to show you how to add the eyes. I just want to see if this is where I want my beak. And I think that's where I want my beak, right there. So I need to make sure I separate my yarn, add a little hot glue in there. Stick my beak back in. Goodness. I got to make sure my beak is right. Okay, stick my beak in there and push it down in with my needle. Okay, I got my beak. Add in right just like this. Okay, now I'm just going to show you the eyes quick. I'm going to use these 4mm black beads for this little guy's eyes. So I take 2 of those and I kind of see where I want them. So I think that's where I want them. So I am just going to remove one at a time. Oh, let me put it down. Add a dab. I got feathers all over my glue gun. I'm going to add a dab, tiny dab of glue. And glue my bead on. I glued my little bead on, so now I need to do the other one. Just a dab. I don't want the whole of the bead. Okay, I'm gonna have to, I think I need to trim his head a little bit, but I just wanted to show you how I add eyes on. But look at this little birdie. You don't even have to put wings on them if you don't want wings on them. Let me see, here's my tail. So I'm gluing these together. Oh my goodness, the feathers are everywhere. Let's see. Just want to see about where I want them. Oh my goodness, it keeps sticking to my hand here. All right. I'm going to add a little more glue. He's so cute. Now, I'm thinking you could even trim your pom-pom to make your yarn stick out here as the wings, too. You can also do that. You know, if you trim the front and leave this little section longer, and you can make little wings if you trim around and leave that out. That would probably work too. I think I still need to add a little glue to his tail. Okay, so you don't even have to add wings if you don't want to add wings. I'm in love with these little birds. I'm in love with these little birds. I'm in love with them. How cute would these be? In your little dough bowl? Or a little nest would be really cute too. Okay, so you don't have to add wings. This is with wings, without wings, with wings, and with feather wings. How cute, right? And then these are the bigger ones. This is with wings. Whoops, feather wings. And this is just regular wings. Well, I didn't leave a big one without feather wings. But this is the blue one. I need to trim him a little bit. I need to trim him. His head is too, it's just too fluffy for me. I just want to trim his head. But you do it how you want to do it. I'm just giving you the idea of making these adorable birds with the pom-pom makers. I keep thinking I could make little wings out of this. I don't know. Okay. If you like my little birds, decorate my page. My family of birds. Decorate this video, decorate my page with your friends. And I am going to put together a kit of some yarns, and I'll run to Joann's and get another pom-pom maker. I'll get pom-pom maker for these big birds. I hope they still have them. Okay, guys, thanks for watching my video, and I hope you like my darling little birdies. I hope you love these little birds. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.